Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 2100 hours local time, 1800 Zulu. Want to welcome all of you guys here in chat. And today we are revisiting a forgotten airplane, I think, for X-Plane 12, the iniBuilds A300-600R. This aircraft is probably the flagship, of course, of iniBuilds, and the aircraft that really got them started with the serious development for flight simulation. It is quite unfortunate that they have kind of abandoned the aircraft development for X-Plane and moved on with MSFS. We are... looks like Nightbot is doing some crazy things today. But yeah, today I think they've updated the aircraft a few times now, and I think it's in tip-top shape for our stream this evening. As you can see, the visuals are just simply outstanding on this iniBuilds aircraft. As you can see here, the texturing of this aircraft is just really done to a very high standard, and the sounds, the flight model, although I've experienced some problems with it, but overall it's a pretty high fidelity aircraft. Jose just coming in with $9.99 in super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. All right. So the first thing we're going to do today is I want to actually show you this airport at Helsinki in Finland. And this is actually a default airport for X-Plane 12. And considering that it's a default airport, it actually looks really, really good. Can't really wait for X-Plane 12.1. Thank you very much, Jose. Again, I appreciate that. All right, so quick briefing for our flight today. Here is our Navigraph charts, the best available tool today for flight simulation, and a must-have for anyone who's serious about flight simming. So our flight today out of Helsinki, Finland, is going to be via runway 22 left. There is no SID for our departure, and we are going to be cruising at a final cruise altitude of, I believe, 34,000 feet, 36,000 feet today, and we're going to be arriving into Oslo, Norway, runway 19 left through the SF4 Mike arrival through the Isiba transition. It should be about 1 hour and 14 minutes flight, and throughout the flight I will be updating you as well on the channel and what you should expect to see in the days to come. All right, so we are good to go. Sortie Aviation, welcome. Glad to have you here. Parasim, Chris. We have also Drishal with us today. Welcome, Drishal. Lewis, Mr. Dobbs, Stan, welcome aboard. Very nice to chat with you, Stan, over WhatsApp. Allah Aruk, welcome aboard, my friend. Hello, Grant, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. We have Boeing Corp Mike from Logan, New Jersey. MPS Gaming, welcome aboard. We have also today Strowing 750, welcome. Thomas 13, welcome aboard, and Chris. Thank you very much, guys, for being here and just joining us. MC Crewfish, welcome aboard. Hey Q8, good to see you again. I'm also disappointed that iniBuilds did not continue to make the A380 for XB. However, Peter Hager is making one. Also, Xworks making an A380. That makes me smile. Well, hopefully not before long that we can see these. Those projects I kind of comment on with I'm very dubious of these projects now, especially the A380. We have the fly-by-wire for years now and still not released, so we'll see what happens. All right, so let's hop into the cockpit, and as you can see here, the cockpit again is very, very nicely done by iniBuilds. All right, there you go. You can see it here, the overhead panel, just really outstanding work by these guys. And I really do hope that they start paying attention to to this aircraft, because it is really a fine aircraft there. Again, you can see there the passenger cabin. Very, very nicely done. All right. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to the electronic flight pack. Let's make sure our settings are good. We are in kilograms as far as units. Everything here looks good. Okay. And then we're going to go to ground operations. We're going to go to ground services, and we're going to connect the external power. We're going to head over here real quick to the overhead panel, turn battery 1, battery 2, and battery 3, and connect the external power. Listen to the sounds. Very, very nicely done. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the load sheet. And from the load sheet, we can enter our information here. So I'm going to bring this to the side here. And that way we can enter the payload information. So zero fuel is 105.8. Trishal has been a member for 18 months. Looking forward to seeing your 100K plaque. I'll give you guys an update on that as well in just a second here. Let me put in the zero fuel, which is 110. Oop, what did I do here? All right, so 105. Decimal 8. Excellent. Enter that. And next we're going to go to the fuel. The fuel today is 13.2. 13.2. Enter that. Load the payload and fuel. There we go. Excellent. And now we can perform the rest of the checks here. Did I? There we go. Now we have X camera. Okay, so now we can perform the rest of the checks here and get the aircraft ready. The sounds are definitely very, very good. Hey, Rand, how are you, my friend? Welcome aboard. Badger, welcome aboard. To be honest, I've never noticed MPS gaming. Sorry. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you here with me this evening. All right. Let's begin here. First thing first, we're going to make sure that we're going to come down here. This is the landing gear emergency. Not sure if this actually works or not. Doesn't seem like it does, but we're going to just make sure that the engine levers are in the idle position. Engine switches are off. Flaps are retracted. The landing gear is down. And we're going to head over here and turn on the galley power. Next, we're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt non-smoking signs. Moving up here, ground control can go on. And next, we can set the ADDONS to nav mode. So that's nav 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. All right, moving down here, and we can turn on the nav lights. And strobe lights go to auto. Over here, we can turn on all these switches, the ATS and yaw damper. The pitch trim will need a little bit of time. And then we're going to move up here. Everything here looks good. Let's do the loop test. Right, engine fire for engine number 1. Checks okay. And we can cancel the master caution. Next, we're going to do the APU test. All right, APU test checks okay. Excellent. And finally, engine number 2. All right, engine number 2, it checks okay. Perfect. And we cancel the master caution. Okay, next we're going to come here. We're going to start the APU and start. There we go. And we can turn on the fuel pumps. Excellent. We don't need the reading lights. We can test the cockpit voice recorder. All right, and it checks okay. Next, we're going to come down here, and everything here is good. Window heat, probe heat, and oxygen supply. Right. We're going to lock the cockpit door. And moving down here, arm the emergency lights. And we'll wait for the APU. Next here, the isolation valve. And we're good. Excellent. Looks like started raining here in Helsinki, Finland. And today we're going to be flying in X-plane default weather, just kind of for a change to take a look at, you know, how things are progressing. And it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. So everything here checks okay, and we are ready to program the Mukdu now. Let me reset my view. There we go. All right. So let's bring up the FMC, and we're going to also bring up the... There, let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see. All right, so we're going to go to the ACARS menu, and we have already our flight in SimBrief. We're going to request the company route. We're going to go to init. All right, so we have all the data. The flight information is already here. And next, we're going to request the wind data as well from the ACARS system and insert the wind data. Today, by the way, folks, you are able to use a Nightbot command weather. So if you type !weather space and then the city name, you should be able to get the weather information. So you can start, for example, by trying !weather Oslo, and it should give you the weather information over at Oslo. Okay, so the wind data is inserted. And we can remove this here. Okay, and we can clear that, and clear that. Okay, so this is the init data. Next, we can go to the flight plan. So from the flight plan, our departure is through runway 22 left. There is no SID, so we're going to say insert. And next, we're going to go to the arrival, which is Oslo, and select the star. We're going to bring up our Navigraph charts real quick here, just to make sure we don't mess things up. And we are arriving runway 19 left, which is this one here, the ILS. And is the ISIP 4M, which is this one here. And let's check out which transition we need for the arrival. So we're going to select runway 19 left. And if we look at the chart, we can see that Titla is a transition that we can take. Based on our routes, Titla makes more sense than Bavad. So we're going to select Titla and then insert. And we're going to make sure there are no discontinuities in our flight plan, which there aren't. And we are good. Excellent. So let's put this away here. And now we can actually come here and we're going to say align IRS. Okay, I've set it for instant alignment. I'm going to remove the terrain so that it's not too cluttered. And next, we're going to go here to the init page. All right, so here we can take notice of our flight on board, which is 13. Let me clear that, 13.2. And then the zero fuel is 105.8, 105.8. And insert that here. Excellent. The CG is 27.9. 27.9 is set. Cruise altitude is 36,000 feet, as you can see here. I think Nightbot is having a rough day. Welcome to the stream, Nightbot. Yeah, I think I've tried to do something for you guys today, but it looks like it's gone crazy, so I think I will need to remove that in the next stream. Yeah, I was just experimenting with Nightbot. Okay, so we have everything here set, and the next thing we need to do is the performance. So we're going to go to the takeoff page, and now we can send to perf. Click here for the FMC data, and we're going to sync the ATIS request here in the electronic flight bag. Again, this works exactly like it does with the MSFS version, and works really well. I did notice that you are unable to set the stab trim, so it's always 1-0 down takeoff trim. It doesn't really change. And now we can send the data to the FMS. We have everything set here with the exception of V2, which we need to set from the FCU. To do this, we are going to first, we're going to come here and turn on the APU bleed. Okay, and pitch trim can now be turned on. External power is off. And now we can set the V2 to 151. Okay, 151 is set, and we're going to set the altitude to 36,000 feet. 36,000, beautiful. And that is now done. Excellent. Another thing we need is the weather information at our departure airport. So let's come over here, and the altimeter is 1018. All right. Let's come here and set 1018. 1018, and I've set the electronic flight bag to sync the captain and first officer barrows, so everything is ready to go. Excellent. So everything is set. We are good to go. And we're going to come up here, and I think we have done everything. We're going to turn on the beacon lights on.
If you are coming on board, please stow your carry-on items in the unit compartment or under the seat in front of you.
Nice passenger announcements.
Place in the seat back pocket as long as you do not block the path to the aisle. If you need any assistance, please let us know. If you are seated at a bulkhead,
look at this engine, guys. Look at the beautiful texturing. All right. Back in the flight deck, everything is looking good. We are ready to start our engines. We're going to just make sure everything is good here. All right. Quick scan. Everything looks good. And we are good to go. Okay. Badger just gifted 1 Q8 pilot membership. Thank you very much, Badger. And please be sure to thank Badger for his gifted membership. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much, Badger. That's very, very kind of you, sir. Okay. We're good to go. And let's see here. Everything here looks good. Everything here looks good. And we are ready to roll. Let's get better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, tow is driving up. We're looking good here. And one more thing we need to do is we're going to say flex. And we are going to use 53. So 53 is set. So that gives us a target of 95.8 maximum thrust for our departure today. Okay. So obviously we are derating the takeoff. All right. Check it out. All right, let's come over here real quick.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set the parking brake.
All right, let's first set the parking brake. You cannot do that with the chocks. So let's remove the external power. And there we go. If the sim sounds are too loud, guys, let me know. I can adjust the sounds a little bit. Man, those engines are just looking awesome.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, and we have clearance to start the engines. Aircraft shall be allowed. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and start engine number 2. Start switch to A, and engine number 2 is coming up. You can see the engine spooling up. Okay, 20% to N2. Engine number 2 is coming up. Just look at this beauty, guys. I mean, seriously, this is one of the high-fidelity aircraft for X-Plane 12, and I honestly feel that that iniBuilds should continue the development and updates for this aircraft. For one, they'll make their customers very happy, and second of all, it's just really a shame not to continue the enhancements and development of this aircraft because it's just great. Right, we have a good start on engine number 2. Let's go ahead and start engine number 1.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Parking brake is set, and engine number 1 is spooling.
Stand by.
That's a nice one. It sounds like music to the ears and candy to your eyes. Absolutely. Right, 20%. Engine number 1 coming up. Just waiting for the ground equipment to clear. There we go.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much for your service. God, X-Plane looks phenomenal. All right, here we go. Okay, so the engine, we have a good start on both engines. We can now turn off the ignition back to the off position, and APU bleed can go off. APU master can go off, and now you can see the X feed is turned on. Everything is exactly as it should. And everything here is exactly as it should as well. We're going to turn on the nose to taxi. Coming down here, we're going to set the auto brake to max, arm the speed brake, and set the flaps 15 flaps and 15 slats. Gotta love that. Excellent. Everything is set and we are ready to go. Let's bring up the constraints here on the display, and we are good to go. Okay. Parking brake released, and off we go. Listen to those engine sounds. Absolutely brilliant. Alrighty. The runway is right there, so we're going to make a turn here and then go straight. go. That's the entry into runway 22 left. Any word on 12.1? Have the div got 12 alpha? Anyone knows? Chris, I don't know, but I think we're not going to see it anytime soon, simply because I just saw a video about the turbulence. So they've posted, Laminar posted a video on how they're decoupling the gusts from turbulence, and so I think they're still doing previews of, or they're still doing some sort of sneak peek. So I think, you know, there's a little bit longer wait before 12.1 is out. That's my hunch. Speaking, the standard for default scenery is pretty high. You have to go far off. I agree there. I agree. Yeah. All right. Let's looking at chat and forgetting all about all about the aircraft here. All right. Here is runway 22 left. We're going to go to the far end of the taxiway and make the turn there. And hold short, prep the aircraft for departure. And we are good. Excellent. All right, here's runway 22 left. Landing lights on. Nose takeoff. Strobes are on. Runway turn-off lights, wing lights are on, and we are good. Excellent. Look at this scene, guys. It just looks really good. I'm going to bring up some lights here. There we go. I think that's better. And on the first officer's side. There we go. Excellent. All right. We are ready for takeoff. Engines are stable. Forward pressure on the yoke. Those sounds are just amazing. Bit of a bumpy runway here. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb, gears going up. All right, let's make the turn. What do you guys think of that departure? Pretty cool, huh? All right, we're looking good. Let's increase, we'll put the speed to 172. Auto throttle is engaged. And nav, what is it complaining about? TCAS, okay. We can just come real quick here to tune. There we go. Okay. And profile. Autopilot 1 engaged. How about that? X-Plane 12 rocks. Right, looking good here. And we can retract the flaps. All right. And we are all good here. So it's a good time to click the like button. Thank you very much, Stan. I would love the VA146 to be updated to X-Plane 12. Absolutely, yeah, from Just Flight. Yeah, oof, what's going on here? The aircraft's doing some strange things, and it has done strange things all over in a, oops, not that. In a previous flight, it has done some strange things. So let's go to climb. Right, and everything here is looking good. Guys, look at this scene. I mean, this looks fantastic. Look at those clouds. All right. Not sure why the rate of climb is so high. All right, 9. We're going to retract the landing lights. Wing lights, nose lights, runway turnoff lights, and fasten seatbelt signs. There we go.
About the cabin. However, we recommend you keeping your seatbelt fastened even when the seatbelt sign is off in case there is unexpected turbulence.
Those are really nice wing views. Okay, 10,000. We are climbing to our cruise altitude now. Speed is increasing. Everything is looking good. We can put this in the off position. And everything else is per design intent. Let's clear that, and put this on the flight plan. And we'll put this on Econ Climb. Okay, all is looking good here. Perfect. We're going to leave the NTIs for both the engine and the wing NTIs. We'll leave those on for the time being. As we clear the clouds, I think we can then turn them off. Hey, Raul, how are you, my friend? Thrust set simulations, welcome aboard. So, I think Rishal was saying he can't wait to see the plaque. And the good news is, so once you reach 100,000 subs, it's not getting the plaque and the verification badge is not automatic, and they are not one event. So you have to apply for both separately. The 100,000, so the plaque is not something that you apply for because both the badge and the plaque require a verification process from YouTube. And oof, it looks like we're going through some really heavy turbulence here. Oof, look at that. Jeez. All right, let me turn on the seatbelt signs here until we're off this turbulent area. So basically, on Friday morning, much to my, it was a very pleasant surprise that I received an email from the YouTube Creator Awards saying you've made it and here is your code to redeem the plaque, and you have to go through so normally it takes about a couple of weeks from the day you reach 100,000 subs for YouTube to verify your channel, and they go through this really rigorous verification process. And then they'll come back and say, all right, we've we verified that you are active, you are posting videos, You are responding to comments, you've got your links, and all the certain requirements that they have. And then they give you this code, and so I went there, and they give it to the channel name. So if I change my name, the channel name, I would lose the verification, I would lose the plaque, I would lose the status. Now the badge, the verified badge, they have imposed new requirements in order for you to be eligible. So there are channels today with 1 million subscribers that are not verified, and they will not get the verification badge. The reason being, YouTube has made it a requirement that you are a known public figure outside of YouTube to be able to get the verification badge. And that is something new that they've introduced recently. And so I'm very happy to report that the Q8 Pilot channel has received the verification badge, which you can now see next to the channel name. You'll see a little tick mark that says that the channel is verified. So I was very, very happy about that. I've requested that, I think along with once I reach the 100,000 subscribers. And so the plaque is on the way. It is in production. They are custom, so they do it per channel. There are only 300,000 channels in the world today that have reached this milestone. So I feel very humble that you guys, with your support, that you got me there. So I'm very happy about that. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Rashal, Thomas, Visconchek, thank you. Good evening to you, my friend. Thank you very much, Stan. Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And I really didn't know what to expect with their verification process. But of course, you guys know that it really wouldn't have mattered too much. But I'm glad that I got there, and the plaque is on the way. I'll definitely make a short video once I receive it. Once it is produced, it should take about 2 weeks to get here, so hopefully not before long. And ladies and gents, we have Carl Childers with us. Thank you very much. Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Welcome, Carl. Glad to have you here. Thank you very much, Badger. Appreciate it. Next one is 200K. Yeah. All right. So, looking here, we are at 25,000 feet. We are going to increase the range here. We can see the top of climb. Again, I love the fact that you can pop all these instruments out, as you can see here. Very, very nicely done by iniBuilds. Really a fine aircraft by iniBuilds. It just really needs a little bit of tweaking. I've noticed that the VNAV calculation is not all that accurate. Here's a look at the outside, enjoying the beautiful X-Plane 12 default clouds and this rather beautiful livery as well on the iniBuilds, I have to say. Looks really, really nice. Those sounds are just amazing. QA, did you stop using the RXB Enhancer Lua plugin? Yes. I don't have any Lua scripts currently installed, with the exception of this little guy here for the audio. Snack says, did they update it to X-Plane 12? I've been thinking about buying it. Yes, it is updated for X-Plane 12. there's actually a couple of updates that they've done on the iniBuilds A300, and they've also now they have the Beluga. So the Beluga and the A300 are both updated for X-Plane 12. Really nice aircraft. You know, I really hope that they continue to upgrade because it's just really that good. I mean, it deserves to be given love. Again, the flagship aircraft of iniBuilds, and this is what really got them on the map as far as aircraft development goes. We've seen other aircraft from iniBuilds for MSFS, but this remains, in my view, not just the flagship, but I think it is by far the best aircraft they produced to date. Yeah, cargo aircraft are always nice. That's correct, Rochelle. Yeah, sometimes they. Yeah, it is inherent to the A300, even the real world. Although I could be wrong there. Yeah, I mean I don't know, but I've noticed that there are some issues with VNAV calculation. I think we can turn off the engine NTIs and wing NTIs. And we can also release the passengers now that we are off the turbulent area. We are about, let's see, 3,500 feet from our cruise altitude. And everything is looking pretty cool. Okay. You got it for $9.99. Yeah, you were one of the lucky ones that caught it. I think it went not too long ago on sale for $9.99. Yeah, they've definitely done a very, very good job. And by the way, even in X-Plane, it looks very good. So the texturing, you know, look at just this overhead panel. Look at how beautiful the panel work is, and the texturing, the sounds. Everything has just received the top-notch treatment for this aircraft. So definitely an aircraft that is worthy of its price. I just really hope that iniBuilds do turn their attention back to X-Plane in the near future and continue to update the aircraft. By the way, it's got also all kinds of ground services. So if you go to next here, you have the fuel truck, the passenger bus, catering. So you've got all of this. We can maybe simulate it once we arrive into Oslo. So overall, really a very well done aircraft, a very functional EFB, SimBrief integration, CPDLC, everything you'd hope to find in a high fidelity aircraft you'll find in this iniBuilds A300. Very well done, really. Excellent aircraft. Right, 1,000 feet to go. iniBuilds is devoted to MSFS. That's because, Samuel, you are right, and the reason is that that's where they can cash the big checks. Yeah, they're a business after all. Night at night, welcome aboard, my friend. Q8 pilot is still loyal to X-Plane. You betcha. Yeah. I love X-Plane. I love X-Plane. And I'll tell you one thing that I find very... Why is this not on profile? Oh, there we go. Okay. One thing I have found with Laminar Research as a company is that I have, over the years, I've created a lot of relationship with the guys that work over there. One of my very good friends over at Laminar is Julian Lockwood. Julian is responsible for the Scenery Gateway. He's a gem of a person. I met him personally for the first time at FS Expo 23. So you've built that relationship. By the way, I've had emails at some point even from Austin himself when they were, I think it was around X-Plane, I think X-Plane 11 when it first came out, and we were given the beta. And I remember that, there was an email from Austin. So I used to be very close with the Laminar team, and I think that also has something to do with it. I found them to be very cordial, very intelligent, very smart, very determined, and over the years, of course, I've established this relationship with Laminar. So I am really devoted to this platform. I will never stop, promoting X-Plane 12. Aside from the fact that I think it's a great company with a great bunch of folks, I believe that X-Plane, when it comes to flight physics, is superior to any other available flight simulation platform today. At least the ones that we use as flight simmers. The graphics, all that eye candy, I agree, is not is not like it does not compete with Microsoft Flight Sim, for example, when it comes to graphics. But it's not too far off when you have a payware airport, ortho photos. It actually looks absolutely fantastic. And with the realism of the flight model, I think it makes it a very, very realistic and very immersive environment to fly in. So yeah, I do like it a lot, I have to say. And here is a wing view for you guys, overlooking the beautiful sky there with the clouds. The clouds, it's sometimes the clouds look absolutely gorgeous, the default clouds, that is, without any weather generation. Sometimes they just look awful, and hopefully all of that will be fixed in 12.1.0, which I am just itching to get and take a look at. The 767 is different, yes, definitely. George asks, A310 was my commercial flight carrier starters. Looks so much the same cockpit layout. Yes, pretty much identical in terms of the layout. I do have X-Plane, just want to see an improvement with the AA hopefully coming in the next update. Yes, Chris, that is correct. That's what Laminar promises, is that they will be attending to the AA plus a lot of other improvements, including more support for multi-core processors. So we can expect, even in terms of performance, to see some performance gains there. Happy birthday for 100K on YouTube. Thank you very much, Thomas. I appreciate it, my friend. Totally true, the flight model in X-Plane nails MSFS. You fly on XP because you want to come as close to reality as possible and take the scenery for granted. That is actually true if you want to experience something closer to real life in terms of the flight model. But I will tell you also that Microsoft Flight Sim is not that far off. As far as flying. On the ground, it's a disaster. So, one of the things I have been planning to do and haven't got is to create those 5-minute videos, 5 minutes of aviation videos, where I take a look at a feature of an Airbus or Boeing and then make a short video on it and explain it to you guys. I do have a lot of material planned. I just really haven't had the time. Work has been very demanding of my time. Today is supposed to be the day off, but I actually had to go to the office because we have some big projects in the making. So it has been quite hectic. There's also a lot of pressure, family pressure as well. So So yeah, I haven't really been able to get to that series that I promised you guys I'm going to do, but I will get to it eventually. I still can't wait for MS 2024. Absolutely. Same here, by the way. See, I get excited about a new sim. I get excited about a new aircraft. There is just a lot today, so I am very selective of what I review. And by the way, there are some aircraft that I do not review, and it doesn't mean that they're not good. But if you're in doubt, just ask me. You can ask over my Discord, and I'll give you my honest opinion. I just buy just about everything that's out there. I just don't bring it to the channel. I don't bring everything to the channel unless I feel it's really worthy of showing it to you guys, or if I think it's really bad, but it's been marketed in a not very truthful manner, and you guys might actually go spend your money on something that's not worth it. Then that's definitely something that I will do. I will review. But in between those two extremes, there is so many aircraft that might tickle your fancy for one reason or the other. But for me, in Microsoft Flight Sim, I have to say that there is loads of aircraft that just all fly the same. They have different features. Some of them have very fancy electronic flight bags, but in terms of flight model, they pretty much fly the same. And there's a ton of those. Then you've got the really bad ones, and there is quite a bit, I'm surprised. And then you've got the really, really good ones, and the not so good, but not bad. But if you want to look at the high fidelity aircraft, in X-Plane versus Microsoft Flight Sim, there is a lot more high fidelity in X-Plane than there is in MSFS. That is a fact in my view. The eye candy, I agree, MSFS wins, hands down. They are starting a closed alpha of the 777 version of the... Yes, Timo, that is correct, and thank you very much for your support, sir. The thing is, the guys have asked me, the guys over at Flight Factor have asked me if I wanted to participate in the alpha, and I told them, yes, I am interested, but it looks like they either forgotten me or changed their plans. I don't know. But yeah, I think it is going. The alpha is going. QA will also pass along info as they communicate with them. Yep. If I hear anything, I will definitely let you guys know. Okay, let's take a look here at our flight plan, and it looks like, let's see here. There's the top of descent. We can see it here, so it looks like it's quite a way before we get there. What is it? About 150 nautical miles for top of descent. Okay, so if we just look at the information here, this is where we are. So let me just maximize this for a second. And this is where we took off. This is Helsinki, and this is Oslo in Norway. And if we look here, the destination distance is 258 nautical miles. If I subtract 154, we've got about 100 nautical miles. 100 nautical miles, we are at 35. Yeah, that's about right. So we'll leave it for now. Okay. Yeah, I've got to admire the sounds on this iniBuilds A300. Very well done by iniBuilds, really. All right, we are in cruise, so we should put this back on CR. Okay, so cruise. And everything is looking good. If we go here to status, yeah, everything is normal. Cleared that. And we're back to our memo page. All of these, by the way, have been modeled. So if you click on AC, you've got the electric AC. Let me bring that here so you guys can see it. Right? And then if we go to DC power, you've got your electric DC power, hydraulics, your yellow, your green and blue, engine, fuel. All the pages are cabin pressure, as you can see here. So all the pages are properly simulated, and in terms of system simulation, this is actually in-depth simulation of the A300. Right, got the doors, flight controls, APU. Very cool. All right. And we've got our air conditioning system here. Everything's looking in tip-top shape at the moment. X-Plane and ORBX True Earth is a great combo, but I also like MSF. Same here. Still have yet to get ORBX for X-Plane 12. As Swarty Aviation, you will not regret buying the ORBX True Earth, I believe England, True Great Britain North, True Earth Great Britain North for X-Plane 12. Fantastic scenery package for X-Plane 12 by ORBX. I really can't wait for the rest of the series, Central and South, to come out, because I think they're just absolutely gorgeous. One thing, guys, that I wanted to update you on is the time of the streams. So normally I stream, the main event on the channel is the Saturday stream, which is this one. And I have been for the longest time starting the streams at 1800 Zulu, which is 2100 hours local time here in Kuwait. That time places a couple of constraints on my streams. One is the fact that I cannot make the stream very long because Sunday is a working day here in Kuwait. And normally a stream that takes 1.5, 2 hours, so that takes us to about 11 p.m., which is a little bit, past my bedtime. And so I'm thinking of moving the streams an hour earlier to start at 2000 hours local time and the 1700 Zulu. That gives me an extra hour to kind of do things with before I call it a day. But right now, as soon as I finish the stream, I just, power everything off and just jump in bed. So I might change the time. I hope that's not a problem for you guys. That is very correct, Carly. Yes, it greatly improves the appearance of the landscapes. It brings in hundreds of thousands of forests into the northern part of the UK. Thousands of points of interest. So definitely worth it. No problem, sir. I'm glad that that's not a problem. That's great to hear. Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate that. 1700 Zulu. Correct, 1700. Yeah, sorry, 1700 Zulu. That is correct. Excellent, Stan. Thank you very much. Right, looks like we have... anything... Okay. I got your message, Carl. I'll let him know. Okay. So, if we take a quick look here. We are about 100 nautical miles from top of descent. So we are going to come to Navigraph. Let's do a window mode. We're going to go to our destination here, and we need the ILS frequency, which is 110.55. So 110.55 is set, and the approach course is 192. So let's see here. 192. It doesn't work that way. All right, let's do that. Right, 192 is set. Perfect. Okay, so we've set that, and we're good. We can, by the way, set the frequency there just for situational awareness. All right. Next, we are going to come to Peacock. Flight plan. Let's go to Ebori. Let's see here. Progress page. Destination is ENGM, and the arrival runway is runway what do we call it? 19er? 9er left, yeah. Okay, so 19 left. Okay, we update that. Now we have the distance here. Perfect. All right. So star. By the way, this aircraft has failures as well, so you can go here and add any number of failures that you want, which is pretty cool. Okay, everything is set up for our arrival, and we should begin the descent shortly into Oslo. By the way, while we're at it, let's come here and take the EFHK-ENGM. Right, so that would be 50. Right, and same thing here. Right, perfect. 50 is set. Okay, everything is set for our arrival. So it is much more efficient and has a better engine to compute all this stuff, and that steals resources. Only use true X-Plane 12 stuff on XP 12. I agree. Yeah. So guys, what do you think? Which aircraft should we fly next? You guys let me know in chat. What would you like to see next? I do have to make a stream on Airsoft Mega Airport Oslo for Microsoft Flight Sim. An absolutely amazing airport by Airsoft. It looks just amazing. So that would be our next stream on Tuesday. Felis, okay, gotcha, Drashal. We'll do the Felis for the next X-Plane stream. We're definitely going to fly the Felis. Such a complex aircraft, and it takes a bit of time to set it up. But once you learn how to fly the Felis, it's just absolutely amazing. And one of the things I like about Felis is the constant updates. So this aircraft just gets constant updates. And they just keep improving, fixing, adding. Just really amazing team, amazing aircraft. I hear that there is going to be, I'm not sure who it was, but I know that there is a 747-200 Classic for MSFS. I'm not sure who the developer is. Yep, I'm learning it right now, and who better to learn from than Q8? Oh, thank you very much, Rochelle. Rochelle, if you look at my last stream on the Felis 747, I go through a very detailed startup procedure, and I go through just about everything. I don't think that I've skipped anything in that stream. So you can definitely go and take a look at it, because it does cover just about everything that you need to know about the 74, including the setup of the INS. And I also show in that stream how to set up the INS. So I'll show you how to use the INS to, for example, do the alignment and enter a couple of waypoints. And then I also show you how you can import the waypoints into the INS directly from your flight plan from SimBrief. So it should give you pretty good insight on how to fly the aircraft. The Felis is amazing, and so are the Zebo. Just got a new update 1 hour ago. Yeah, the Zebo is definitely something that I haven't flown on the channel for quite some time. But I think if you guys want the Felis, then we'll do the Felis. On Tuesday, on the other, however, we are going to be flying in MSFS. I want to show you guys Mega Airport Oslo by Airsoft. It's just really an amazing airport. The level of detail is phenomenal. I was actually taking a look at the airport, and as you go inside the terminal, you can actually hear people talking, and if you go to the guy playing the piano, you can actually hear the piano playing, and you hear passenger announcements, and it's just really, you see people walking. Just really amazing airport. The level of detail is insane. So I definitely want to show you guys that. So you guys let me know which aircraft should we fly. Maybe the 787-9, the Kuro 787, or perhaps, I don't know, the PMDG, Phoenix, whatever you guys like, we'll do next time. Hello there, Andre Nerds. I got the ORBX Oslo and fly there sometimes, but not too often. Do you think the ORBX version is good enough? Is that for MSFS or for Airsoft? Osama Mohammed says, I vote for the 787-9. All right, I hear you loud and clear, my friend. Welcome aboard. I'm sure it's a nice airport, but I do mind flying in the airport, not the terminal. Yeah, well, for sure. Well, for sure, but you will actually be very impressed with the external as well. The taxiways, the gates, the ground clutter, all the service vehicles moving around the airport. You will be amazed, I will tell you that. All right. We are going to begin the descent shortly, so I'm going to come down here and take a note of the platform altitude, which is 3,500 feet, and we are going to update our altitude here to 3,500. 35, that's 4,000, click, and 3,500. Okay, top of descent is coming up. Look at those beautiful wings. Friends, if you like the stream, please hit the like. Yeah, it does help, for sure. You mean MSFS Oslo for ORBX? It's not bad, but the one from Airsoft is much better. Much better, yeah. So we have one vote for the 787. We have another vote from Jafar for the 78-8 and the PMDG 737-78 or 9. All right. So that's 2 votes for the 787. I think Fly Jason is working on the 727 version 4 for X-Plane 12. Yes, sir, they are. And the 737-200 Classic. That is correct, yes. It is in the making. Chris says the 787. Okay. Starwing says PMDG 7379. So far, it's 3-2. You guys let me know what you want, and it will be the aircraft we fly. And this time, I'm not going to run a poll on the community tab. You guys are going to tell me what you want. So maybe next time I will run a poll right here on during the stream. I can't actually do it now. How far we are from top of descent. All right, so I think we have some time. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Okay, which aircraft? Oops. Which aircraft? For Tuesday. Okay. 787. 739. A320. Let's see. 6. Right, there we go. You guys can vote now. And I will let you know the results right after we land. How about that? All right. We are getting very close to top of descent. Let's switch this to 30 nautical miles. Now, for the descent, what we are going to do is we are going to use level change. And once the aircraft begins the descent and we are stable, we are going to go back to profile. And that will ensure that we have the proper speeds there. And we should be fine. Yeah. Almost there. Let me switch this to 15 nautical miles. Such a great livery by iniBuilds for the Finnair aircraft. Just looks phenomenal. Allah Aruk, how are you, my friend? Good evening, dear. How was your day? Next aircraft 787. All right, perfect. Yeah, it does look very good to Osama, doesn't it? All right, there we go. We can see the vertical deviation showing here on the display, as you can see here. And that's the top of descent. So we're going to go ahead and use flight change. And the aircraft will now begin the descent. Excellent. So far, I'm quite happy that we have not yet encountered any problems. On an earlier test flight, I did encounter some issues with the aircraft doing some really strange things, but thankfully today it's behaving very well. So pretty happy about that. And this one can go back to climb. Okay, perfect. And we have begun the descent now. Just look at this beauty of an aircraft. All right. Blackbox 711 says the 787 helps him with his real 787, so good enough for me. Oh, really, Chris? Oh, that's good. Yeah, we'll do that then. They've actually, the 787-9 just received an update, and it's looking pretty sharp, I have to say. By the way, we never set this to standard, guys. My bad. Well, we can do it now. There we go. And speaking of that, let's take a look at the star. Is it 4M? Is it 4M? That's the one. There, and if we click that, it will tell us here the airport elevation. Alright, so the transition level is set by ATC. All up here, expected star until IAF start approach. Assigned runway without delay. No specific runway for landing has been assigned. Start approach to runway 19 right without delay. Okay, that's for lost communications. And clearance limit is Titla holding. Okay, perfect. That's what we have there. And everything here is looking good. Okay. Perfect. I work at Oslo Airport. Oh, Henrik, welcome aboard, my friend. We have somebody who actually works at Oslo Airport. Well, Henrik, maybe you can tell us how well Time Models have modeled Oslo Airport for X-Plane 12 once we land. A lot says, what about the Mad Dog MD-80? Yeah, actually, that's an option. Yeah, that is an option. I haven't flown the aircraft in ages. Alright, so far, I will tell you guys that the 787 is winning the race. But we'll wait until the end and see what... I've never even tried the MSFS 747. I'm stuck in the feelers. Yeah, it's just that good. I agree. SAS flew the MD-80 in Oslo in the past. That is correct, Andres. Yes. Please fly GA aircraft. GA lover here. Likewise, Lance. I love GA aircraft. They are just the best in my view. But I also do know that the community likes to see bigger aircraft for some reason, and they're not too fond of GA aircraft. I am planning a stream in one of the V-Flight Air, so there is going to be a week, I'm planning this week, where we're only going to be flying GA aircraft. That is coming very soon. Right, let's stop that. See, now it's kind of, it went a little bit berserk with the descent. It is adjusting its iniBuilds. Please come back to X-Plane 12. I don't think this descent rate is very comfortable for the car. We can go back to profile now. That should put things back into a comfortable rate of descent. Yeah, we're definitely going to have GA only for a whole week. And we're going to be flying nothing but GA aircraft. Time Models has done the ENGM airport quite good. The only thing I can see is that... oh, okay. Well, that's very good to hear. Henrik, maybe you can stick around with us next Tuesday. I'm going to be flying into Oslo by Aerosoft, Mega Airport Oslo by Aerosoft in Microsoft Flight Sim. And perhaps you can tell us what you think of that airport as well by Aerosoft, because just according to what I've witnessed, It just looks amazing. So it would be a good idea to have you with us next Tuesday to compare the two airports. That is, of course, if you have time. Yes, correct, Henrik, this Tuesday. Right, we are at 18,000. Getting close to our destination now. Here's a wing view. One of the things you'll notice when you have X-plane weather enabled is the change is the transition of the weather from one state to the other is seamless, and that is something I really like in X-plane. Okay, let's get the altimeter real quick. Weather at Oslo very quickly is 110, 3 knots. We have variable winds as well. Cloud visibility okay, 1014. No significant change in the next couple of hours. Okay, so 1014. 1014 is now set. Okay, we're looking good. And the arrival is exactly what we've seen in Navigraph charts. So this is looking, the arc there looks pretty good. It's drawn properly on the display. I have been in Oslo, how do you say it? Gardermoen, but it was 24 years ago, so I'm not much help. Don't remember so much about the airport. Yeah, you wouldn't remember after 24 years, that's for sure. Right, we are continuing the descent. Everything's looking good. And we should be at our destination shortly. That's the runway right there. If you look here, that's at 19er left. And we have all the restrictions here, as you can see. We can now decrease this to 30. We're looking good. Excellent. All right. One thing we need to do is we need to come to the approach here. We're going to be doing flaps, the flaps 30/40 wind correction. We're going to add 5 knots for the wind correction. That gives us a VAP of 132. MDA is 50. And now everything is set for the arrival. Excellent. I have worked ground for Northwest Airlines years ago. Became attached to the DC-9. It's such a great plane. Even the DC-10, by the way, they're just beautiful planes. I would love to see those, older classics in flight sim, and to have like a study level DC-9 or DC-10 in the sim. That would be just great. All right, 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. Nose and let's turn on the. Actually, wings we don't need. The rest we can have. We can turn off the engine NTIs. Fasten seatbelt sign is on. Very nice clouds. We're looking good. Is there a restriction here? Let's take a look. There is a restriction there at 10,000. Next page. There we go, 10,000. Alright, so we're going to probably hold at 10,000 for quite a while before we descend again to 3,500 feet. Very good. Excellent. One of the things I told you guys I was going to do is the Pimax Crystal review. And the reason I haven't done it is that when I checked with my... so the guys over at Pimax have sent me the unit, but when I checked with my doctor whether I can use a VR device, he again strongly recommended against that I even attempt it because of the issues I had with it the first time. And I told him that I just wanted to attempt, see maybe the issue's gone away. He said I do not recommend it. So so unfortunately, yeah, that's not going to be an option for me. So by the way, guys, you can now do exclamation weather and then type Oslo, and you'll get the current weather at Oslo. So you'll know exactly whether what we're seeing is correct or not. I have the next XP update. They improved VRAM. Now, when it rains, it's complete overcast clouds have massive FPS drop. Really? That's really strange. They will bring the improvements, though. There is going to be optimization in terms of the VRAM usage. There will be optimization for multi-core. Obviously, a lot of improvements in terms of the flight model, the weather, the clouds, graphics. So I'm quite excited. What issue did you have with VR? Motion sickness? Yes. It's motion sickness, but it's really, really bad. Where after I removed the headset, I was actually not able to get up from my seat. I was too dizzy, and I had it wasn't a very good experience. And someone told me that actually, yeah, once you do it for a couple of times, then you'll get used to it. And I tried it over a period of a week, and just about every time was worse than the other. And that's when I decided to go and see the doctor, because I felt that maybe there was something wrong with me medically. And, I did a checkup and everything was fine. But the doctor said to refrain from using the any VR experience is not going to be good for my health. So okay, we are at exactly 10,000 feet, and if we look here, we are going to... So we are at 10,000, so there's a restriction here at 10,000 and 220 knots for the next about 5 or 6 waypoints in our star, and then we'll begin the descent probably as we make our way towards the transition, Titla. So right now we're just going to maintain 220, 10,000 feet, and we are looking good. Yeah. That reminds me of the game Sea of Thieves. I got motion sick as well due to the waves and the screen rotating like a roller coaster. Yeah. By the way, guys, the 787 still leading the poll as the preferred aircraft for our next stream. Look at the panel details here. Look at how beautiful this is. I mean, really, iniBuilds have, you know, they put their hearts out when they created this aircraft. I remember one of the developers was telling me that during the course of the year or year and a half, where they were developing the aircraft, there was pretty much no income coming to iniBuilds. And, you know, he had to tell his wife, look, we're going to have a really tough time, but once we're done, you know, we're going to be in really good shape. And that's exactly what happened after the development is complete. It's a very big team. The iniBuilds team is strike that. I mean, I don't think they're very big in terms of the number, but I think they're spread out all over the world. You know, in Dubai, England, South America, just all over the place. It's good to have a multicultural, multinational team, you know, working and bringing such great add-ons to Flight Sim. Aside from the motion sickness, what did you think of VR experience that you could manage to do? Well, I think my very first experience with VR was in the Zibo 737. And I will tell you that while I was sitting on the ground and just kind of looking around, there was a point where I forgot that I'm actually in a sim. It's extremely immersive, and it looked very real. It felt very real. Now, I didn't like the fact that the controls that you hold with your hands and the way you move it is, to me, it's an immersion breaker, if you ask me. But yeah, I think it was pretty cool. It's just too bad that I'm unable to do it. I totally agree with you that Intel processors are better. I mean, a lot of people would probably say, oh, you know, Q8, you don't know what you're saying, you don't know what you're doing. But I find Intel to be, first of all, more widely used. And so even for things like, you know, tweaking, overclocking, devolting, it would be much easier to find resources for Intel processors. To me, I think they perform better than AMD in most cases. There are a few games where AMD excels, but for my use, I prefer Intel. It's what I know, so why change? Yeah, just keep it there. All right, so next waypoint, I think we will begin the descent shortly. I'm not sure. Okay, let me just take a look here where we are. And all right, so what I'm going to do, folks, right now is I'm going to go to level change at 220 knots. There we go. And we're just going to ignore the profile a little bit because we are actually pretty close to the airport. And we have about 6,000 feet to clear. So there we go. All right, we are definitely going to need the engine and wing NTIs as we go through these clouds. All right, auto brake is set to medium, and we are going to arm a speed brake. There we go. Speed brake is armed, and everything else is looking good. Looks like it's going to be a rainy arrival into Oslo. I have zero desire to use VR. Well, Rand, I'll tell you what, my friend. That makes two of us now. Mike Anderson, have you ever tried just head tracking? That's what I use, and I love it. I can't use VR myself either. Mike, I do like head tracking. I do have Track IR5, and I do have Tobii Eye Tracker. I find the Tobii Eye Tracker to be a little bit more practical because, you know, you don't have to like wear a hat, and the setup of it is a lot easier than Track IR. Both are fine. For streaming, though, not very practical because with streaming, I keep moving my head to look at chat and things like that. So it'll be all over the place. But I do enjoy head tracking when I'm flying on my own. Yes, without a doubt. All right, let's bring the speed down to 152. We could actually go to profile in a second, but we're going to bring this to 152. There we go. How many more miles now? Well, let's leave it at 200 for now. Man, this weather is terrible. Thank you for posting that, Stan. Appreciate it. They are very responsive and communicative when you ask questions or have an issue, for sure. Those are which guys? The tracker guys or the Tobii guys? The weather is not correct. Really? Weather looks normal here. Well, that does happen. We can check here. So real weather is on. So I really, yeah, according to the METAR, I wasn't expecting this. All right, let's go back to profile. It's going to want to climb to 2200, 220. We're looking good. ENGM. Wind direction and speed, 110, 3 knots, variable between 090 and 160. Yeah, definitely the weather is not correct. Cloud and visibility, okay, so the weather is definitely off, but I'll tell you what, this is going to make for an interesting approach and landing. How is the plane versus SP1? How is this plane versus the ASSP? What is ASSP? Sorry, I'm not following. It's going to make for a more challenging landing, which you guys prefer. So, we'll keep it. We'll keep the weather. This is fun. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. By the way, VSkyCheck, you can now use exclamation weather followed by space and then just type the city name, Oslo, and you'll get the weather as of right now. In chat, you can do this. Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll just leave it. We'll have fun with it. Okay. If we look down here... alright, I'm going to go level change again. There we go. And we want 3,500 feet. So another 1,000 to go. Terrible weather in X-Plane. Okay. All right. ILS on both sides. 17, about 16.8 nautical miles. We have the glide slope and localizer needles there showing. This is 1014. There we go. Everything else is looking good. What 787 are you going to use, McKnight or the one on MSFS? So we are going to be flying in MSFS, and we're going to fly the Kuro 787-9 if it remains the top choice in the pool. All right, 3,500. We are looking good. And we can now, you go to land, Cat 2, localizer captured. And we can decrease this to 152. We can actually go to profile. Look here. All right, so the next one is 152. Okay. Why is it doing this? All right, let me just bring this down to 152. 152. There we go. Right, we can see the the glide slope needle, the glide slope diamond coming down now. Right, there we go. Right, looking good. And let's go to flaps 15, slats 15. And gear down. All right, the speed is 132. Right, 132 set. Flaps 15, slats 30. All right, and flaps 30, slats 40. And we are clear to land, ladies and gents. Speed brake medium. Let's turn off the anti-ice. All the lights are on. Speed brake armed. Auto brake medium. All right, perfect. It would be runway 19er left. You can always get the route. We're flying via command !route. Right, 1,000 feet. My aircraft. Auto throttle disengaged.
300.
What was that? Jeez. I didn't expect that much. It could be that it was the XP Realistic doing funny things. Wow. Alright, I'm going to... let's go to plugin admin. Let's stop traffic global. Alright, and let's take a look at the landing. Hopefully it won't crash. So far, so good. Okay, there we go. Just look how beautiful this aircraft is. Ladies and gents, the iniBuilds A300. It's definitely not that bad. It looked a lot worse while we came to land. But it's actually not that bad. All right, what do you guys think? Reminds me of Kuwait Airways' old livery. Yeah, it does. The livery is amazing. Yeah, without a doubt. It's beautiful. All right. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and track the flaps. Landing lights off. Start the APU. Taxi, strobes to auto. Runway turn-off lights are off. Alright, we can turn that one off as well. There we go. Very nice airport. Okay, start. go. Very, very nice rendition of Oslo by Thai models. You can park the aircraft here at one of those gates. All right. All right, parking brake is set. And APU is available. APU bleed is on. And we can now turn off engines 1 and 2. Oh, is it? So Henrik says the marking on the tarmac is incorrect. It's always good to have somebody who knows the airport. Okay, so engines are coming. Powering off. Right, we can bring up the ground services, shocks, external power. Okay, that one is off. Beacon lights off. Okay, and we can actually just do, alright, so now we can see the, I'm not sure what this is doing, but there we go. I'll be surprised if the jetway goes to the right door. Well, let's see. Well, it looks like it is going to go to the right door. Oh, how cool. Almost. Well, what do you know? Pretty nice, huh? Alright, so we have external power available. That's on. We can turn off the APU bleed. And APU master is off. Excellent. Turn these off. And now we can come to the exits next. It's called catering, passenger bus we don't need actually, and fuel truck. So we'll refuel for the next flight. And now you can see the catering truck coming up to the aircraft. Again, this is all built in with the aircraft. So all of these, I don't think this is animated though. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Oh, it is animated. Look at that. Again, all of this is included with the aircraft, so this is not an additional add-on. This is, it comes with the iniBuilds. And as you can see, this is the fuel truck as well. And now we are deboarding the passengers. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this this live stream today with the iniBuilds A300 from Helsinki to Oslo. I'm not using SAM, no, DB Vetter. I do have the Scenery Animations Manager installed, but I'm not using it. Old-time model scenery requires a SAM to work properly. So, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Drishal. You can use the baggage thruster simulation if you use the SAM add-on. You can definitely see the baggage, but it's not simulated here with the iniBuilds built-in ground services. Well, folks, this pretty much brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. And be sure to join me again on Tuesday for another flight to Oslo, but in Microsoft Flight Sim. I almost forgot to give you guys the result, and here are the results of the poll that we ran here, and based on popular demand, we are going to be flying the 787-9 in the next stream, which is going to be on Tuesday. But until then, ladies and gents, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in this evening, and good night.